Hello, my name is Tracy Stewart. I've been the Operations Lieutenant for Shangri-La Township Police Department for just over 2 years, making me their second most senior law enforcement official. Chief Davis has approached me in regards to deficiencies in our department's community outreach program known as COPS. Based on data he collected, he already established that the program membership has greatly declined, and so has volunteer participation. As his second in command, it's my duty to provide him with input as we examine the matter more closely. The first part of my role is to participate in a collaborative assessment of the problem with the chief. I'll provide him with feedback on any issues I've identified or been informed of within the program. I'll then be assigned to or volunteer to collect both current and former membership feedback from within the past couple of years. This will give us an indication of what they feel they gained from the program, possible areas of deficiency, and thoughts on improvements that could better address their needs. I'll also collect feedback from both current and former mentors and volunteers from over the past couple of years, inquiring as to what experiences they felt were positive, in what ways is the program lacking, and gain some ideas for enhancements. I'll also have to gather both internal and external stakeholder feedback by way of needs assessments. This will help identify what types of educational or growth opportunities our local youth are in need of. I'll also reach out to other local or state entities who have similar youth programs to obtain expert input on program design, sample curriculums, and development opportunities. Another important thing will be to determine if there are any VUCA trends that should be considered. And then I'll collect information on any national standards already in place. Next, I'll bring Patrol Sergeant Scott into the fold. She's the department's leading community policing officer, and she's been the direct supervisor over the COPS program for over a year. I'll promote her involvement by delegating tasks to her like creating both the feedback and needs assessment surveys. She'll disseminate them and gather the requested data once I approve the formats. After doing some research, I'll provide Sergeant Scott with the names of multiple in-state agencies with successful law enforcement youth career orientation programs from which she must obtain program development and curriculum information. She'll also take care of volunteer and member leadership incentive ideas, as well as advertisement and promotional ideas. I will recommend that Sergeant Scott foster buy-in by involving patrol officers in these tasks. I myself will work on the other tasks which were discussed with Chief Davis. Sergeant Scott and I will meet on a biweekly basis to assess the status of the assignments and discuss the gathered information. As instructed by Chief Davis, we will meet on either a biweekly or monthly basis to assess where we are with gathering the information. This stakeholder and expert data collection process will take several months. Once sufficient data is gathered, it'll be time to analyze it. Therefore, I again will meet with Chief Davis and present the collected information. He may decide to have Sergeant Scott and some volunteers sit in as well. Although the Chief is the final decision maker, we will likely analyze it together to share perspectives on the potential impact each option may have. Using the perspectives and knowledge of the collective, the Chief will direct us to move forward with restructuring the youth program based on what he deems to be good practice. I will then provide Sergeant Scott with guidance developing a curriculum that meets the assessed needs and conditions of this interdependent system. At this point, my role is to oversee the program development, provide feedback on the proposed curriculum, and work with those involved to identify potential volunteer mentors and educators, to identify leaders. I need to generate a list of educational and community service opportunities, potential costs, human resources needed, transportation options, training locations, participation incentives, and promotional ideas. In an effort to better measure sustainability, I will also generate a proposed membership satisfaction survey and means of data collection to track growth and performance for varying time periods after graduating from the program. For example, after 1 year, after 5 years, after 10 years of graduating. This will allow us to measure whether this program is actually working and has value. This set of data is something that could be collected and maintained by a program alumni association. Ultimately, in both verbal and written form, I'll present Chief Davis with the various details for his feedback and/or approval. Once all of the pieces are in place, it'll be time to execute the new program. But proper implementation of this change process will take time.